This is the Daily Roundup on the EAC Cambodia channel. A very good evening to you. I'm Andrew Barnes-Roberts. Making headlines tonight. Dozens of people evacuated and urgent calls for blood donations as torrential downpours cause flooding in Banteay Meanchey. Police say proper adult supervision would have prevented the tragic death of a 4-year-old girl at the hands of her 2 young cousins. And Van Von does Cambodia proud at the 2020 Paralympics in Tokyo, managing a new personal best in the final of the men's T54 100-meter wheelchair race. Banteay Meanchey has been hit by heavy flooding. Days of torrential rain has left much of Seresiapon city submerged, with hospitals in dire need already dealing with the province's surge in Delta-related COVID-19 cases. EAC News reporter Yuri Matosko has the latest.
Torrential rain has lashed central Thailand and northwestern Cambodia in recent days. Worst hit Banteay Meanchey. Its provincial capital, Seresiapon city, is on high alert. Its referral hospital has been heavily affected. Doctors and nurses have scrambled to get medicine, materials, and equipment out of harm's way. They've made an urgent appeal for donations of blood. Commander of the province 51st Infantry Brigade, General Singtum, has called on residents to be extra vigilant, particularly those with small children. He says the high water levels pose an increased risk of animals and insect bites. The floods have also affected 100 homes along the border in Malay, Boenbeng, Oseralau, and Topong communes. 10 families had to be evacuated. Authorities have confirmed that water levels are already receding and that roads will soon return to normal. But the threat hasn't gone away. The Ministry of Water Resources says a low-pressure system over the Indian Ocean will bring more heavy rain to the kingdom over the next 5 days. Yuri Matosko, EAC News.
Lashings of heavy rain in Phnom Penh late Wednesday afternoon also brought flash floods to parts of the capital, and just as rush hour started. Underpasses were flooded in Chum Chau commune near the airport. Many chose to pull over and wait for the water level to drop before continuing their journey home. Others had little choice but to get off their motos and push. Heavy backlogs built up as traffic ground to a halt. This is a common sight during monsoon season across most of Southeast Asia. Across the capital, just west of the old Olympic Stadium, parts of 7 Makara were also under about half a meter of water. Bak Tuk appeared to get the worst of it, with roads turned into rivers and waves lapping at shopfronts. 2 brothers, aged 9 and 14, are not to be held liable for the death of their 4-year-old cousin. She died after having a phone charger wrapped around her neck. Police say the cousins had been fighting in the lead-up to the tragedy and say proper parental supervision would have prevented the little girl's death. EAC News reporter Reo Soko has the latest.
A squabble between children, leading to the tragic death of a 4-year-old girl in Suaireng's Naraten village. 2 brothers, aged 9 and 14 years, were initially held liable, but police say, given their age, they cannot be arrested or charged. They need their parents' supervision. Suai Trum District Police Inspectorate Colonel Pin An says that the girl was strangled on Monday during a fight with her cousins. She'd been left in the care of her aunt by her mother, who works at a garment factory in Bavet. Found unresponsive by her aunt, the girl was rushed to hospital, but died shortly after arrival. A forensic examination revealed bruises in different parts of her body, leading to the investigation by police. Cambodian children's law prohibits the arrest of minors under 14. That children will be counseled, while police have stressed just how important adult supervision is, most especially while schools remain closed. Rhea Soko, EAC News.
Cambodia's active number of COVID-19 cases continues to climb for a seventh straight day. The country's healthcare workers are now dealing with a total of 2,491 COVID patients. The latest numbers were released by the Ministry of Health shortly before noon on Thursday. 416 new COVID-19 cases have been detected overnight, outpacing the 386 patients who have been discharged. 12 new deaths have also been announced. High numbers have also been reported by the provinces, with Battambang and Kampong Cham both seeing increases. Cambodia now has a total COVID-19 case count of 93,926. The kingdom's death toll has climbed to 1,928. The number of successful treatments has reached 89,500. At the same time, the World Health Organization has declared that the new Mu virus mutation detected in Colombia is of serious concern. There are worries it could be completely resistant to current vaccines. It might have been built as the showpiece for the 2023 SEA Games, but the newly finished Moradok Decho National Stadium might soon be road-tested earlier than thought. Cambodia is using it to join the bidding for the 2020 AFF Suzuki Cup. This has been announced by the president of the Ad Hoc Commission on the Football Federation of Cambodia, Putida. After 8 years of construction, Cambodia is wasting no time taking advantage of its new sports showpiece. Located in Phnom Penh's Troy Changva, the stadium resembles a ship under sail. It's been designed as a symbol of the long-standing friendship between Cambodia and China. It can seat 60,000 people. Cambodia is hoping it'll be the home of the 2020 AFF Suzuki Cup, which will run from the 5th of December until the 1st of January. Along with Cambodia, Singapore, Thailand, and Indonesia have also shown an interest in hosting the tournament. The AFF Suzuki Cup is a biennial football competition organized by the ASEAN Football Federation. On to international news now, and the Taliban are out on the streets of Kabul to protect people's property and lives amid an administrative vacuum following their takeover. A new government has yet to be named, and few details about how the group intends to govern have been released. It's causing anxiety around the world, but most especially on the streets of Kabul. All we know is that this is the new Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan. We don't know who's in charge, what the government will look like, when it will first meet, or how it will actually govern. While Kabul residents say the security situation has improved, life is getting tough. Some banks, most hospitals, and government offices remain open, but while local market vendors have things to sell, few people are buying, given the high levels of anxiety about what the next few days and weeks could bring. Prices are soaring, and long queues outside banks underline just how worried residents of the capital are. The local currency, the Afghani, is fast losing its value against the US dollar. At the border with Pakistan, many money traders are refusing to exchange it. The fall in the exchange rate has seen prices for many basic foodstuffs ratchet up daily, squeezing people who have seen their salaries disappear and their savings put out of reach by the closure of the banks. The Taliban says the problems will ease once a new government is in place. It's appealed to other countries to maintain economic relations. One country that will be key is the United States, but its focus right now is getting its remaining nationals and Afghan contract workers out of the country after its shambolic airlift.
You know, we have obviously had contacts with the Taliban. We had it during the effort that we were trying to midwife a negotiation. Those conversations have continued intensively to enable the evacuation of that we undertook and to try to get the kinds of guarantees of safe passage, et cetera, and tolerance, and to talk about the standards set in the UN Security Council resolution, to talk about the terrorist threat as well, because the expectation is that they claim to be able to control the security of Afghanistan. We'll see if that is the case. That is a far cry from formal recognition. We will continue to have conversations that serve our interest, as will our allies and partners. But the first thing we want to see is them live up to the obligations that they have under the UN Charter, as well as the public statements that they themselves have made about their expectation for an Afghanistan that respects human rights, respects international law, allows international citizens and Afghans who wish to leave.
Back in Kabul, the Taliban is taking stock at the capital's main airport. It says it hopes to restore operations there in the coming days. Now for a look at some other news making headlines around the globe this Thursday, the 2nd of September.
A huge fire has swept through a chemical plant that manufactures cologne and disinfectant outside Istanbul. More than 50 factories were damaged. 145 firefighters and 61 trucks responded to the scene. It took them 8 hours to extinguish the blaze, which was peppered by occasional explosions. One business owner was injured while trying to put out the fire. 2 firefighters were also hit by a metal tank.
2 climate change-related disasters also making headlines. Intense rain hit Spain on Wednesday, flooding towns and around 7,000 homes. Thousands of people were badly affected. They are without electricity, and some roads and rail links have been closed. The storm, which gained strength due to high temperatures and humidity, hit especially hard in the coastal town of Alcanar in the northeastern region of Catalonia. Flash floods swept cars down streets. There were no immediate reports of casualties. Across the Atlantic, multiple tornadoes touched down in Maryland as remnants of Hurricane Ida swept through. This footage was captured just southwest of the city of Annapolis. The United Nations says weather disasters like this are becoming more frequent and costly. According to statistics, 31 million people were forced from their homes by natural disasters just last year. The number is increasing. The UN says with the pandemic and extreme weather events happening at the same time, we live in a multi-hazard world.
The number of affected people and the economic loss is getting higher and higher because of the increase and frequency and intensity of extreme weather events and climate change. And we've seen this this year alone during this summer in the month of July, which was the hottest since records began. There were heat waves and there were floods. So we are not, unfortunately, in a safe place. And the report tells us that the 50-year trend is quite alarming.
That trend has seen floods and heat waves driven by climate change increase 5-fold. More than 2 million people have been killed. The economic cost is fast approaching $4 trillion.
Stay with the Daily Roundup. After the break, a look at the day's sports news. EAC News fully supports the royal government of Cambodia's preventative and administrative measures against COVID-19. But we need you to play your part in helping bring the 20 February community transmission event to an end. Wash your hands regularly, sanitize wherever possible. Keep an eye on your body temperature. Use the Stop COVID QR code and maintain a safe social distance. But above all, please, 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 wear a mask. Only together can we beat COVID-19. EARTS Cambodia's audience is growing. Our YouTube channel now has 150,000 verified subscribers. To mark the milestone, we've received the Silver Creator Award from YouTube, given to channels with over 100,000 subscribers. YouTube CEO Susan Wojcicki says the award celebrates EARTS Cambodia's hard work and incredible achievement. She says not only has EARTS Cambodia brought a unique voice and style to the world, but has also created valuable connections and built a community along the way. The next milestone we're going for is 1 million subscribers, and we'd really like that Gold Creator Award. So if you're not already a subscriber, head to www.youtube.com/EARTS Cambodia. Subscribers get all the latest breaking news and updates from Cambodia in English. We'll see you there. If it's happening and you need to know about it, you'll get it all right here. EAC News brings you updates and breaking news in English across all of EARTS Cambodia's platforms and channels: YouTube, Facebook, Telegram, Twitter, and our website www.eartscambodia.com. Join me, Andrew Barnes-Roberts, and the rest of the EAC News team every day on your favorite channels. EAC News, Cambodia made clear. Cambodia can be proud of its lone Paralympian at the Tokyo 2020 Paralympics. Van Von finished in 7th place in Wednesday night's final of the men's T54 100-meter wheelchair race. He finished in a new personal best time of 14.21 seconds. Finland's Leo-Pekka Tati looked to be the race favourite. He's won gold in the last 4 Paralympic finals in the same event, but it was Thailand's Atiwatpaing Noa who crossed the finish line first. The T54 final was the highlight of Wednesday night's action, and Van Von did us all proud. In the women's T36 100-meter race, it was China's Shi Yiting who produced a gold medal performance to break the world record with a time of 13.61 seconds. Russia's Elena Ivanova seemed pretty happy to bag the silver. It was also silver for Canada's Paralympic veteran Brent Lakotos, who was looking to hold on to his T53 men's 100-meter crown, but gold went to Thailand's Payo Bangsakorn. Cristiano Ronaldo has entered the history books. He's become the all-time leading scorer in men's international football after scoring his 110th and 111th goals on Wednesday night.
Ronaldo made history in true style. Not just 2 goals, but 2 headers, and in the dying minutes of the match. They gave Portugal a 2-1 comeback win over Ireland in Group A of the World Cup qualifiers. The Manchester United forward almost had a hat-trick, but saw Gavin Buzunu save his first half penalty. It was the 89th minute of the game when Ronaldo entered the history books, surpassing Iranian Ali Daei's record of 109 goals with a towering header. He then produced a carbon copy in the 6 minutes of stoppage time to score goal number 111. Back at Man United for the next season of the English Premier League, there's no doubt Ronaldo will take his record even higher.
Lionel Messi will play in Thursday night's World Cup qualifier against Venezuela in Caracas. Despite having played less than half an hour this season for his new club Paris Saint-Germain, Messi has been declared fit to hit the field at the Caracas Olympic Stadium. Messi spent Wednesday training with Argentina ahead of their 3 qualifiers over the next week. The 2-times world champions play Brazil in Sao Paulo on Sunday and then Bolivia in Buenos Aires next Thursday. They sit in 2nd place behind Brazil in the 10-team South American qualifying group. The top 4 teams will qualify automatically for Qatar 2022. If Messi was a bit out of breath during training, he didn't show it. He's not played a full match since the 10th of July, when he started for Argentina in the Copa America final. Much of his time since then has been dominated by his move to Paris after 18 years with Barcelona. All right, let's have a look at how the weather's starting to shape up ahead of the weekend. And finally, for the first time in nearly 80 years in Sri Lanka, an elephant has given birth to twins. The calves were born on Tuesday in a wildlife reserve. The twin males are the mother's second and third offspring. She gave birth to her first male calf in 2009. The twins were born at the Pinawala Elephant Orphanage in the Central Hills of Sri Lanka, one of the country's biggest tourist attractions. It was set up in 1975 to care for wild elephants that needed to be rescued and treated for various injuries. Experts say the last time an elephant in Sri Lanka gave birth to twins was back in 1941. The 25-year-old mother, 17-year-old father, and 36-hour-old calves are all said to be doing just fine. Thank you for watching the Daily Roundup here on the EARTS Cambodia channel. You'll get more breaking news and updates on our website. Head to www.e-artscambodia.com. You can also search for EAC News on Telegram and at your favorite app store. Friday tomorrow. I'll see you at 8.